Our next speaker is Kelly Thorstad. She is the Director of Nursing and Patient Care at Shriners Hospital Montreal. She had a key role in the implementation of focused professional practice model across the 22 Shriners Hospital sites, and she will be presenting to us creation of educational resources for children with osteogenesis imperfecta experiencing acute and chronic pain.
Thank you. And it's working perfect. And I was one of the ones that thought I had 20 minutes. We only have 15, so please bear with me as I speed through some of the slides. So the amazing team that I'm representing, I know I said it yesterday, so we don't need to repeat, but these are the people that pull it all together, but it's not just them. Everything that I'm going to go through with you today has been based in research that has been done with our patients and their families. So nothing occurred without the involvement of those who we actually provide care to and interact with. So we all know there have been a lack of research on pain management and pain in children with OI, but then if you go to look at the resources and tools or books or education materials, there was also a great gap. So this is one of the areas that we decided we can tackle. We have got a good focus. We love our patients and families that tell us what they need, and we set forward to include their voice in what we were going to do for the creation of tools. So the first one is exactly that. That is Carter Brown with his mother, Jennifer Brown, and she was called upon by a friend in Saskatchewan who her friend's son also had OI. They went to the emergency room, and the emergency room said, "I'm not touching you. I have no idea what's wrong." And so they went back home, still not mobilized, with their fracture, and Jennifer said, "We can fix this." So we teamed up with Jennifer and Carter and created a fracture kit. So this fracture kit is distributed to everyone in our clinic, and we have made it available for others to know the content, so you could create your own with some education materials, and also a series of videos about how to actually do the splinting at home, whether you're the parent or a friend or whoever is helping in that capacity. And I think it's important, as we've heard today earlier, allowing the parents to have something that they can help with their child in pain is extremely important. And there's a little bit of a reverse that I'll talk about later as well. So Dr. Rauch has been solicited from many different people about how to properly start an IV without causing harm to a person with OI. And so at the top is one of our nurse coordinators for the OI clinic. And so she has an entire video that I know we're not taking pictures, but I don't mind if people take it, if that's allowed or not allowed, because you need to find that link. Or email me and we'll send you the YouTube video links. But this is a video on how to properly start an IV with using distraction as well. The bottom is our child life specialist, Angie, who's key in helping, and one of our patient care attendants who also helps with immobilization if the parent is not as comfortable with that, and also shows you how we use VR in that process, but more to come on that. So this is one of the videos we cannot watch because we don't have enough time. We also take different things that the patients have told us they've been afraid of, and then we ask them their experience, then we work with the frontline clinicians, and then the nursing research team puts life to some of the issues that are going on. So going to the cast room, having a cast removed, or having sutures removed, our cast technician created this video in one of her master's program in collaboration with our teams, and it just takes you through what you're going to expect when you walk into the procedure room for either cast change or suture removal. So we also know that it's very important with all of these different tools that we need to start sharing the knowledge and going out there and also dipping or connecting with the whole pain world, because we're in an OI world, but the pain world is huge and very different. So we need to start crossing those gaps. And so the different techniques, the top is our cast technician at the top explaining the splinting kit. The bottom is a patient working on Mandela's. And then in the middle is the whole immersion of light and calm therapy that we use in a patient's room. And all of these these different tools, which I'm sure there's a variation that people use in their clinical settings, we created a coping circus. So in collaboration with a research scientific meeting, we invited patients and families to come and go to all the booths of all the different coping tools. So something to think about as we're talking about toolkits. How do we get it out there? How do people interact? And then people can tell us whether they like what we're doing or not, or give us more advice, and we can change as we go along. Okay, so at Pitch to Go, from one of those, there was a live coping circus before COVID. Then during COVID, we were like, well, what are we going to do? Because the coping circus was so important to the Pitch to Go is Pain and Child Health conference, and it's mostly in Canada, but a bit of international participants as well. And so we decided to make a coping kit that could be distributed at the conference and to patients both at Saint-Justin and at our hospital at Shriners Hospitals for Children. And so these were all the different things that the patients said they liked the best to be in their coping kit. And there's other sites, Boston Children's does this whole, they put out all the coping tools and allow people to choose and make their own coping kit. Another idea in clinical practice, as you have different things, then it becomes their own and it becomes personalized. So, and different people like different things. So we try to, as much as possible, be as inclusive as we can. So in the, oops, okay, maybe we'll go to here. Oh, now it went too fast. Doesn't like me. Okay, it will go back hopefully in a moment. So in the coping kit, there's a card about how to manage your pain, which talks about the deep breathing, relaxation, how to use heat or cold depending on what helps your pain, and make art. So this card goes in the different coping kits. And then these are our characters that we created from the OI Color, OI Learn book, and we've extrapolated them to do many different things. And so we took what we had in the OI Color, OI Learn, and we did a video on coping with pain. But again, I'm sorry, we don't have time to see this, but maybe I can send you links if you want, because it's fantastic. And then also a poop, how to have a successful poop video, because there's a whole section on nutrition and constipation. And we don't talk about poop very often, but poop is very important. And so Captain Strongbones goes through to show you how to have a successful poop. Okay, so one of our projects that when we first brought on our research program, so it's been quite a few years, we realized with the whole concept of transition, I am a primary care nurse practitioner, so we tried to transition our patients to an adult clinic and monitor it and see how we could do that using the Nurse Practitioner Network in Montreal. All great motivation until you realize somebody goes on maternity leave or they change positions and your sustainability of those links just fell to the ground. And so we realized this is going to happen anywhere and we're not going to be able to guarantee that nice transfer. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on transition, absolutely. But then we changed our mind and said, okay, then what are we going to do? We need to build advocacy and empower our patients so that when they leave us in pediatric care, they do not feel dropped off a cliff into the jungle, which is the exact word that one of our patients told us, but they're able to navigate, advocate, explain their condition, which I know is annoying, but it has to happen because there's such a lack of knowledge of OI in the adult community. And so we're doing modules of education for all the different sectors of how they can prepare for this, and it's based on modules that were done for those living with JRA out of sick kids. So it's a partnership, and now we're doing the part for OI. More to come, and they will be available. All that we're doing, we're trying to make available so that everyone can use it. So we already spoke about the OI Color, OI Learn, and I have copies. I think I have 9 more copies over here, and you're welcome to take one as long as it doesn't go in the recycling bin and that you actually use it, okay? So we won't go more into this one. So this is something that I'm so proud of our team for. So it started quite a ways back. So after some focus groups with some of our patients and families living with OI, there was this expression of, well, I want people to understand what it's like to live with OI, what it's like to fracture, and what that means in their life. And so Candice Amarante had done a whole storybook on a young girl who notices she has OI, but her sister does not. Her sister is a competitive skier, and she falls on the ski hill one day and breaks her leg. But so the person with OI is able to go and help her sister cope through that to explain how she's going to manage distraction, pain management, relaxation, and manage the anxiety, because she knows what it's like to fracture, and so now she's going to help her little sister to get through it. So we then had it illustrated by David Reed, and Ardry's in the corner to make sure that it all fit together nicely, but the entire book is built out of research. We could have done some of these things just on clinical expertise or what anecdotal information that people are sharing with us, but what we did is each chapter stemmed from some type of publication that was done relating to living with OI. So it's wonderful. I have only 2 minutes left. I thought I got 15 minutes. I have 3. Okay. So the book is there. You can go look at the book, okay? So I've got pains. The reason why you can't have the link is because we submitted it to a competition at a film festival. Once that's done, we'll give it to OIFE so that they can put it made available to you. But that's why we can't give it out to you now. So we don't need to see. Oh, no. We don't need to see it again because we already did. This, though, finally, there's 2 last things I want to share. The use of VR. It's outstanding. It can be used, and people are already using it in healthcare, but there are no practice guidelines, or that we had found, best practice guidelines for the use. So we have done the research process to make sure that we're doing best practice guidelines. We received a grant from in Quebec to be able to disseminate that throughout Quebec, but our goal is anyone who wants to have the practice guidelines can, and disseminate it throughout our Shrine system. So we had a nice VR launch, and I will just, well, we don't have time to see that either, which is too bad, but it's really, maybe I'll just, please forgive me, I'll just show one. This one's good. It shows you they're getting both Botox for CP children, but also IV insertion that you have an OI, and the kids are not even moving with the VR on them.
Yeah, keep still. Yeah, and then you just, go. You just need to move a little bit, Amaya. Tu peux même attraper la balle qui est rouge, juste là.
So the clinician can watch what the child is doing and guide them and say, go hit the red balloon, go hit the blue balloon. Yeah, sorry, it's going to get loud. Thank you.
Donc là, on voit, elle tire les petits trous. Donc, continue à tirer, Léa, let's go. Tire, tire, tire. Et les ballons en haut. Sometimes they make weird faces at me.
Yeah, they are. Oh, yeah.
So she's having her Botox injections. See, not even moving.
The other ones appeared. Go get them. Oh,
okay. Oops.
You got all.
Okay. Last thing, how do I get to the next one now? These videos. Okay, there we go. Last one is distraction tools, I Spy. So this we created with the kids. This is our child life department actually put into animation. And I have these cards if any of you want to take them just for the idea. We did copy this as we've seen it in other pediatric sites, but the kids are now going to tell us, okay, what do you want to find on the I Spy card? So they're going to decide what it is, but you can do it reverse. Like the kid can also say to their parent, okay, I want you to play. It can go as a distraction both ways. So the final slide I just want to show you is this is actually Ardry and her family, and she gave me permission to share because it was her son who had put his hand through a glass window. That's her husband doing the distraction with their child. But what's so important is her husband's a lawyer, and he really needed some control. And giving him that distraction card just helped him feel so much more a part of it because Ardry's the nurse, and she knows everything, but he didn't have anything that he could do. So that was very important. And then she came over. They were at the children's, and they don't have VR, and so she ran over to grab our VR kits because they were right next door to help prepare him for surgery. But the awareness is not even big out there. The Paki wasn't very excited with her, just so you know. But anyway. Okay, apologies for that last thing. So I have 5 copies of a comic book, okay? This one's in French, but there's 5. And they're all over there, so you can First come, first serve, as long as they don't go in recycling bin, as I said. I think I have 10 copies of the Dream Machine, which is also available on Amazon. In Canada, that's about $26. And I don't know if it's worldwide yet, but we'll try to find that. And then I have more of the OI Color Learn, and about 80 of these, so everyone can have one of these. Okay.
Thank you so much, Kelly. We can't thank you enough. We would love to see everything, hopefully soon.